Every time I think of you, I know we have to meet. And I just can't get enough. And I just can't get enough. It's getting harder, it's a burning love. And I just can't seem to get enough of dun 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 dun. What a win! Come on, you horns! It's finished at Vicarage Road. Watford 3, Birmingham City 0. Vicarage Road is a fortress, and the sting is very lethal in the Hornet's tail. Absolutely brilliant. That is incredible. 5 wins on the spin. Our best run of the season. Xisco Munoz is smiling. Watford fans are smiling. And I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. We've frozen, but I don't even mind because Watford are in great form and it's a massive morale boosting win. Come on, let's go. So I'm going to try and talk you through that game step by step. Basically, I've done my halftime review. Check that out in the description. But we will talk through the main opportunities in that second half and, basically wrap it all up. So that is a massive, massive win. And they got to be playing a bit of Sweet Caroline in the dressing room because that squad should be feeling so proud of themselves for the way they conducted themselves and just really clinical, really promising talents that the squad currently has right now. So it's what you love to see completely. Bit annoying that I have been frozen, but you know, it is what it is. We go on. So to start off with in that second half, a few chances for Birmingham and ones they'll definitely look back on with regret they didn't take. And it just kind of bounced up towards Backman. He was able to collect it away from Birmingham's forwards. But then 54 minutes in, and it's a really good chance for Isaac's success. Through on goal, and he makes a really good run, to be fair to him. He's got a point to prove for the Watford fans who know that he doesn't score enough goals, doesn't show his ability enough, and really hasn't made an impact since he's come. Enough of one since 2016. But he had a chance when he was playing in this game due to injuries, and he basically was unfortunate because the touch was just not good enough. It let him down, and unfortunately he couldn't get a chance and across and get the shot away in time because Etheridge bravely came out and smothered it. But then it came back to Nathaniel Chalobah, and it was a strong shot from him, but that was unfortunately not a goal. All right, 55 minutes in, and it was the perfect second goal for Watford. What a corner from Dan Gosling. We said about in the first half how he had a few misplaced passes, but that certainly was not a misplaced pass. What a whipped-in corner. It was on the money, right onto the head of Nathaniel Chalobah. It was a much-needed goal in the game to just calm the nerves, and what a wonderful, well-worked set-piece routine, one that is clearly practiced on the training ground. We've done it to perfection there. Really, really nice. We don't always score from set pieces, but this season we've been doing it. So that's really, really good to see. And Chalobah just did so well there. Really clever run to lose his marker, Djukovic. Djukovic was looking like he was going to easily see him off it, but he just snaked around the back and did a loop. And then down by the near post, he gets the header in, and no chance for Etheridge. Djukovic was clearly absolutely gutted that he was unable to stop Chalobah because he face planted onto the ground in despair. But Chalobah's celebration was lovely, and you could tell the delight in his face to get the goal to cap off an amazing performance from the captain today. Really leading by example, and a great header from a great set piece. And to be fair to Birmingham, you've got to give them credit because both times that they went behind, they reacted really well. They really did stay in the game, and at times they looked they looked at a threat, but they just didn't take their chances, and that was the difference in that game. Birmingham, they had a few decent chances. Watford had most of the possession, but Watford took their chances, and that is really, really key in this division. So 65 minutes in, and a great Sema ball. I mean, that is just so effortless, but so brilliant from the Sweden international. Just puts one touch and then lovely into Pedro. And yeah, Pedro's got a chance here to just take it very quickly with his right, and he can't do it with his right. He's unfortunately a bit too one-footed, and he tries to get it onto his left. And by that time, the chance is broken down and the defender has got a foot in. So yeah, he just took too long, really. And it was unfortunate because it was never quite in control for Pedro. So yeah, the chance went by there. So 66 minutes, and the substitute for Birmingham, Jonathan Lecco, a very promising young player, showing a bit of determination, and he cuts inside, bends a shot over the bar. Fairly comfortable for Backman to see, but still not a bad build-up. Then 68 minutes and a really tough cross for Watford to deal with. You know, Birmingham trying to whip it in, trying to get a goal back to make it a bit more of a contest. But really good from Troost-Ekong. Did so well in that situation. And interesting to see, of course, the message flown in the sky by a little plane sent for Birmingham all the way up to Hertfordshire to get their feelings felt, basically. The fans wanting the chairman Dong to go, and that was a bit of an awkward moment because, you know, they probably would have sent that regardless of the scoreline, but I don't know, it just seems a bit petty to do it in that way. If you're trying to say something, you're doing it in that way, and I don't know, I feel like Birmingham, maybe they just have to have faith, but at the end of the day, that's what they feel, and that's how they're going to get it heard. But anyway, I think there are positives to take for Birmingham. You know, they weren't a nightmare. They were plugging away. On another day, they could have been better, but they just weren't quite clinical enough. And then Watford scored some really, really good goals. So 76 minutes, and Djukovic has a really good chance. He gets the ball, and he shows great strength to muscle off the defender, and then gets a great effort away. A spinning, very strong shot on the turn, and he hits it, and it just hits the back of the stanchion and goes out for a goal kick. So ultimately a good chance there if he just couldn't quite get it across goal and on target. But it's really right now for Watford, promotion is in our hands. It's hopefully if we keep winning these games and we're keeping on with our great momentum, we should have our final say in our, you know, fate, in our destiny. But ultimately, you know, we should just keep plugging away. Hey, we're back. Once we persevere, we get it back. And we should hopefully get in, a position to try and get a promotion place, whether that's automatic or playoffs, I don't know. But let's try and get in that position before we have those tough games at the end of the season with Swansea and Brentford. Before that, though, fairly nice run of games. We should be winning those, and the form we've shown, you would think that would be very much the case. That Norwich game is massive, of course. Norwich are drawing to Blackburn, and I'd imagine the game would be over by now. So, did it finish level? That is the question. I'm going to check it now. Oh, it did! Get in! Well done, Rovers, you legend. Sam Gallagher, what a man. It finished 1-1 at the Canaries' home, Carrow Road. So that is brilliant. So that means now that it is a 6-point gap to Swansea and just a gap of a mere 8 points to the title chasers, Norwich City. Now, if Swansea can lose to Cardiff, now I'll admit, all right, they've got a game tonight and they've got another game in hand against Sheffield Wednesday. But if they can lose to Cardiff in that big rivalry that's going to be tough, then that will be perfect. But we'll see how that goes. But it's perfect because if we can keep that 6-point gap to Swansea, we can really have a chance. And we've got to try and make the most out of these nice games coming up. So, yeah, that was a chance for Djukovic to really get a shot on target, but it didn't happen. On came Lazar, and it was a bit of an odd one, I guess, but fair enough. He felt he needed to give him some game time. And also Sanchez came on. And he's really comforting right now, Sanchez. He's really doing the right things. And he's just calming the situation down. He very much does the simple things well and is a very solid midfielder for us to have. So experienced and could be really big come the end of the season. So, yeah, good to see him looking quite sharp once again. But Lazar did go for the shot, trying to impress. And he did have a little bit of power on it, to be fair to him. But Etheridge was a bit more knowledgeable about it. He knew what was going to happen, and he did gather it at the second attempt after a swerving first shot. So 79 minutes, and it's a big chance for Birmingham to at least get a goal and take away Watford's clean sheet, because once again, with the header, it's Dean, and he just doesn't really get it as he would have wanted. But, he gets it over the bar, and on another day, maybe it's another story. But Pedro had a good-ish game. He wasn't brilliant, but he did well with the shot that set up the first goal for Sema. And he will have better games in the future. But Sema, what a great game! He's just got such hunger, such drive, such passion, and it's really helping the rest of this Watford team to be united and be very much committed to the overall cause, that is getting Watford these wins and pushing for that promotion back to the Premier League. But to improve today, I think maybe just giving a few players too much space. We saw that in the first half when Colin was able to just move forward and stroll and try and get a shot away, and luckily Messina eventually did close that space by making an amazing block. Messina and Chalobah with brilliant games today. But I think if we, on another day, with those space we're giving to players, that could have punished us. And also defending headers, we got to make sure we're strong in those challenges to stop them from having the aerial duels won. I thought Sierrauta was really good at that today, and Ekong really did maybe start a bit shaky, but he did progress in his performance and got a lot more confident as he went on. So yeah, it's just a few tweaks to make, but ultimately a very, very nice performance. Not a lot more that we could have done. And it was a absolutely inspired double substitution. At 2-0, you're thinking, come on, let's try and rub the salt in the wounds and really make it a great day's work. And that's exactly what we did. What a goal this is, by the way. The substitute, fresh legs. He must be thinking, oh, am I going to get a chance to get involved in this game? Because, he was taken out of the team, or not taken, but he was selected out of the team due to success playing, and Pedro up top. And Pedro came off, and Lazar came on, and Ngakia came on. And Ngakia, what an impact. Brilliant. He looks like the best player I think we've signed in defence for a long time. He's absolutely brilliant. And it's so good to have that option if Femini is not doing it or he hasn't got the fitness, because he was just so eager to impress and so eager to get forward. And it's just a great tackle from Jeremy Ngakia, and he does so well. Great pass to just slide it through, set through Andre Gray. And Gray's got a lot of work to do in this situation, and he does so well. Has the hard work, has the graft, and eventually does get in on goal. And it's a brilliant finish. Just so composed and so determined to just stroke it past Neil Etheridge, and so direct in his running. And that is the kind of confidence we want to see with Andre Gray. We know he can do it, and that really was a great goal from him. So we have our third goal, and at this point I'm thinking, ooh, correct scoreline for me, perhaps, with my prediction. But I did actually go for goals from Sema, which was right, I suppose, but Sarr and also Feminia. But still, we don't mind who scores as long as we get the scoreline, and as long as Watford win week in, week out. It was a really good run, to be fair, on 82 minutes from Jeremy Ngakia. And then the cross was unfortunately just smothered by Etheridge. And Birmingham, they really couldn't take their chances, but it might have been a different game. The most important thing was we took our chances. And 84 minutes, Chalobah, really nice. Just the movement is clever. And near post, he just goes in from the corner routine again. And we're just nice to see that we're varying up our corners and making the defenders have to really think about it. But it did slice off a defender after Chalobah's input. And the Etheridge had to make an important intervention to tip it over the bar. But then a little bit of a silly foul from the substitute Lazar, just body checks Birmingham's player, and I was a little bit worried from that dangerous set piece position. But luckily the wall did its job. Thou shalt not pass. It was brilliant, and then straight away you think, okay, we've blocked the free kick. Most players would just say, oh great, we'll just pass it around and, not do much else. But he doesn't stop there, Nathaniel Chalobah. He goes to it, and then the shot he gets so well in front of it. He hurls himself at it, just putting his body on the line and playing for the badge. It's what you love to see from Nathaniel Chalobah. And I think today, more than anything, was just a show of how far we've come. You know, against Birmingham in the reverse fixture, we needed a last-minute penalty from Deeney to see us through. And we didn't have Deeney in the squad, of course. We haven't had him for a long time. And that has changed our formation. We've had to go to a 4-3-3, and that has actually been much more useful for us because it's attacking, it's fast forward thinking, and it's also attacking the opposition. And ultimately, we've just been absolutely hunting for the victory rather than relying on certain factors. But it's a psychological victory as well because of the fact that Brentford dropped points against Nottingham Forest, and now Norwich dropped points against Blackburn. It's what you love to see. We just got to hope the same for, of course, the team of Swansea City. They dropped their points. But Bournemouth, of course, didn't play today. They had the FA Cup game where they were smacked by Southampton. Bit of a South Coast battering there. But the main thing is we're getting our games and we're doing what is required and even more in this game because we really did just take our chances. 12 shots, 3 goals, and Birmingham had 14, but just 1 on target. So, yeah, really good to see. We're getting the shot accuracy up and we're actually taking a lot of possession. We're dominating games in that respect and we're actually driving home our chances. A little sloppy mistake, though, to be fair, from Will Hughes. Will Hughes had a great game, so it was a bit of an odd occurrence. But on 89 minutes, they were let in but for a little chance, and luckily the shot was straight at Daniel Bachmann, so it was fairly comfortable to collect. But, you know, Watford at home are just brilliant. Most goals at home of any player, any team in the division, most points at home of any team in the division, and then most goals at home of any team in the division. That is what you love to see. We are very much making Watford and Vicarage Road into a fortress, and that is going to give the squad a lot of confidence. And I think it was a nice little thing to see Hungbo come in. I mentioned Ngakia and Gray with the great combo to come on and make a difference, but Hungbo did really make a difference as well. He really could have had a goal, and maybe with his young nature, he should have just passed it to Andre Gray because he does really well to create the chance for himself, has the shot from a favourable position, but it was to be expected because, you know, he's got to learn that as he gets older. But Gray was in the better position. He wanted it, and he couldn't get it after Hungbo's shot just went into the grateful arms of Etheridge. But then Hungbo actually got it again, and I think that was definitely in the back of his mind, and he made up for that with giving it to Gray this time, and it was a very tough one for him to clip across, but he did about do it, and Gray was just trying to keep it under control, had the shot, and it was smothered. But the job was done. We didn't need any more because we got the win, and I didn't want any more because it's a correct score for me. It's what you love to see. It's 5 wins on the spin. Best run of the season. Man of the match, Chalobah. What a perfect performance. The complete package from Nate today. We've done it very well indeed.